Hi guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kiersey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. Today is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have two topics. First I'm going to talk about this group of truckers that's trying to get out that positive vibe. They talk about gratitude and how they appreciate their companies, and you know, they're trying to help each other. They're truckers that are trying to help each other and they admit their faults and their mistakes to give guidance to other drivers who are new and to try to inspire and educate. I am so happy that I found these channels. So that's the first thing. The other thing I'm going to talk about today is how to deal with some of the insults and the negative comments that you're going to get from some of these drivers out on the road. One of the female YouTubers who drives for Prime, she was basically harassed and bullied when she was struggling with her backing. And this guy insulted her, and you know, when you're insulting somebody online, that's one thing. When you do it in person, it's something else. So I'm going to tell you how I handle some of these guys out on the road, and I hope you get a good laugh. Ladies, this is the secret to dealing with some of these nasty men and nasty comments. I promise you, you're gonna laugh. So stick with me. I said that there's a few channels that you want to check out. The first one is Red Monkey Trucking. What I really like about him is that he is grateful. He's, you know, he and his wife teamed together. They admit they had problems and they were in a bad place before they got into trucking. He had, you know, made a mistake in the past, which some companies didn't want to look past that mistake, and yet PTL, that he works for now and he's been with for 2 years, they were willing to accept him. And he's not into company bashing or anything like that. He's very happy at his company, and he has that same attitude I do when people say, oh well, you know, you should be at a better company than Prime, blah blah blah. Well, the heck with you, pal. Prime is great for me, and PTL is great for this couple at Red Monkey Trucking. I really like his wife too, because she's just so honest. Like, they both will talk about the mistakes they've made and how, like, you know, almost dropped a trailer and things like that. So they're very real people, and when they share their mistake stories, it allows other people to realize, hey, I can make a mistake and I'm not going to lose my job. I can make a mistake and, you know, I can still improve and become a great driver. She's really funny. The other night they were doing a live video, and she was saying that she was on the truck with him for 8 months before she wound up driving. And you know, when you're arguing on the truck, you can't just like slam the bedroom door or walk out the front door. The truck is moving. She's like, I would just pull that curtain closed and say good night, or you know, I'm not talking to you. They come across as really real, but they also have a lot of fun. They do these little funny skits of like alter ego type of personalities. They have this little character set up, and they enjoy each other, and I really think that's a really cool thing for anybody that's new coming onto the road, to see that not everybody's out here complaining all the time. Not everybody hates their job. Not everybody hates their company. Not everybody hates teaming with their wives. You know, they have a good time, and you can see that from the videos. Another driver who has his wife as a passenger, she doesn't drive, is Anthony Blackbeard. I'm going to post all these links down below, so make sure you check them out. I also have them on my featured channel tab, so if you go to the top and you go under featured channels, you can see them there. But Anthony Blackbeard, he's doing a lot of videos talking about stories of what different drivers have seen on the roads. He talked about his mistakes, and you know, he had one that was like, you know, epic fail, and I was like, you think that's a fail? You saved it, dude. I had a fail. Knocking an axle off a trailer was a fail. But it's really cool. Again, their marriage is, they're very close. They've been together for a really long time, and again, he and Red Monkey Trucking, the group just kind of tries to boost people up. They've shared my channel, and they've, you know, which is really cool. Thank you guys. So there's a third guy, Trucking Nomad, who also has his wife, and she does different videos. She did videos of what it's like being at home with your trucker on the road, and then she also did videos from the truck. So she was talking about the relationship issues where you have a disconnect. Like, he was coming home, and his coming home was just to get away from trucking, you know, but she's at home with the kids and the family and taking care of everything. So she saw his coming home as a way for her to get away from the role that she had taken over. So it's really interesting to hear her side of the story. So if you are a driver, or you're a wife, you know, or husband, whatever, I don't care what you are, but either way, if you're a spouse or a significant other and you have one on the road, you might want to take a look at these different videos, because again, the husband, Trucking Nomad, he's talking about the mistakes he made, and they discuss the different companies that they've been to, all three channels. I think it's kind of cool because they're not bashing any of the companies that they worked for before, but they give very matter of fact, like, this is what I liked about this company and this is what I didn't like, and it doesn't come across as bitter. It comes across as informative. So those three channels I think are really cool. There's another channel, No Hippie Truck and Transportation Wannabe, which he's not going to be a wannabe soon. He's getting his own truck and upgrading. He was a prime trainee. He went through the whole TNT, and he stayed on the truck with his trainer. So if you're interested in what training is like, and especially if you want to know what prime training is like, his is a really good channel to take a look at. That's the whole positive vibe thing from the trucker YouTube channels. Now, to get on with, if you're a woman who winds up getting yelled at by truckers out on the road, you have issues, that kind of thing, Maria Yvette Nieves. I'm sure I said that last name wrong, so I'll put her down below. She's really cute and really sweet, and I love the way she talks, and she has this accent. And you know, she said to me, I love your channel and I'm learning so much, but don't expect to learn anything from my channel. Maybe you'll learn how to curse in Spanish, but that's it, because I'm just like venting and bragging, and it's just for fun. And I was like, oh, well, you know, that's cool. And she does, she makes me laugh, she's cute. But she was talking about some instances where, you know, men had yelled at her, or you know, drivers approached her in a negative way. So I have a little secret of how women can deal with this. Okay, first off, don't argue with the men, agree with them. Here's a perfect example. This guy came over, and he was like, don't you know how to back into a space? You're taking forever. Don't you know what the hell you're doing? And I said to him, nope, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really trying really hard. And he's like, well, you should know what you're doing before you get on the road. Yep, you're absolutely right. I was like, did you just come out of that red truck over there? And it was a Cascadia that had black grill with the black hood mirrors. And he was like, yeah, that's my truck. And he called it something like Thunderbolt or something like that. That's Thunderbolt. And of course he had the big logo on the side. And I was like, you know what? That truck is so impressive. And all of a sudden you saw his like chest pump up, like, oh yeah, I'm a man. Yeah, that's a red truck. That's a, you know, it's a man's truck. And I was like, it is so impressive. I love the color, and I love the grille and the black mirrors on the hood. I was like, it is so cute. Cute? What do you mean cute? It's so cute. It looks just like a ladybug. Put little eyes and then a little smiley mouth on the grill, and the little antennas, it looks like a ladybug. And then I would get like Lady Kiersey on my door in white and put little white polka dots all over. It would be so cute. And he's like, that's not cute. That's a man's truck. That's Thunderbolt. Yeah, okay. Well, he got so upset that I called his truck cute, he turned around and walked away. He forgot what the hell he was yelling at me for. So there was this other time that I was sitting at Denny's, and there was a guy like two or three seats down. He was so loud. He just kept talking to everybody that walked by, the waitresses and the guy on the other side of him. And I was talking on the phone, but I couldn't hear in my headpiece because he was like so loud. When he saw me get off the phone and I was just trying to watch a movie without, you know, him interrupting me, he wound up coming next to me and he's like, you know, going on and on. I wasn't paying attention to him. And then finally I said to him, well, you seem like you're really excited. Are you having a good day? And he's like, yeah, I'm having a great day. I just bought a new truck. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. You can I just had this mental image of like the chrome pipes coming up, the stack pipe, and you know, they were probably fake anyway, just to make them look good. But I was like, oh, okay, what you get? And he's like, oh, it's a manly truck. It's white, it's beautiful. I'm like, okay, what did you get? And he's like, well, it's right out that window. Well, right out the window was the car parking lot. There's no bobtails out there. And I'm looking, I'm like, I don't see it. He's like, right there, right by the window, that white truck. And I was like, oh, you meant a pickup truck. And he's like, yeah, that's a Dodge 2500. That's a man's truck. I don't know what it is with these guys that have to impress me with testosterone that's pumping through the chrome and the metal in their trucks. I don't know. So he's like, yeah, you know, that's my truck. And I was like, it's so cute. It looks like my truck's baby brother. Like baby brother. Like one day it's gonna grow up and it's gonna be a truck just like mine, and then you'll get to drive a real truck. So he's like, what do you mean? What do you drive, a Suburban? I was like, no, I drive one of them. And a big rig went by. And he looks at me like this and he's like, no, you're a trucker? Yeah. Well, you don't look like a trucker. Well, you don't look like a guy who drives a little tiny baby truck either. What do you want me to tell you? You know, maybe one of these days you'll grow a real pair and you'll come out on the road and you'll drive a real truck. So that might have been mean, but he just annoyed me because he was like, you know, in my ear and get away. So those were two things. The third one, now Maria's really gonna laugh at this. So I was really bad at backing, and she's been struggling with backing also, and that's normal. It's totally normal. So I needed to park for the night. I wanted to get out, go get something to eat, go get a shower, and there was a space that would have been a straight line back up against a curb and then a truck space next to it. So I pulled along the curb so that I could do the straight line back, and I was going so slow, and I pulled up ahead and I had my tail light, my hazards on, and I was moving backwards, and this guy, this old guy, comes swinging around and did a blindside into my space as I was backing up, and he was laughing at me. He actually laughed at me. I got so aggravated, I got out of the truck and I was like, what's up with that? And he just laughed. So I just kept backing up, and I came within like this far of his bumper. And I grabbed my backpack and my pocketbook and I jumped out of my truck and I start walking away. And he comes up and he's running up the aisle and he's like, what do you think you're doing? I was like, I think I'm shutting down for the night. I need a shower and I need something to eat. He's like, you can't stay here because I have to leave and go make this delivery in an hour. Well, you should have thought about that before you jumped in my space. And he's like, well, I'll tell the manager I'll have you towed. I'm like, okay, fine. But guess what? I still have hours on my clock. And I didn't use my 3-hour window for my 14. I was like, so by the time they call and then the tow truck gets here, you're going to be late for your delivery. Okay? I'll sit here and wait for the tow truck and then drive away. I'll even pay the tow truck for coming just so I make you late. Because you shouldn't have jumped in my spot like that. And he's like, well, I need you to move. No. That's what you get. what are you gonna do? You gonna attack me? Go ahead, attack me. Then the truck's really not moving because I'll be in the hospital. So I was like, now what we could do is I could pull forward, you can come out and let me back up, and then you can jump in front of me and park there. How about that? And he's like, all right. I said, you know what? And then next time, try to have a little bit of common courtesy for people. Yeah, okay, don't tell me you didn't know that I was new. Of course you knew. You know, maybe you didn't realize I was a woman until you start pulling into the spot because the way you came up, you couldn't see. But woman or not, you shouldn't treat people like that. That's just terrible. I was at a Coca-Cola plant one time, and there was this yard dog that told me to go put the trailers side by side as close as possible. Well, in order to do that, I had a blind side, and I couldn't pull forward and straighten it out because they had all trailers across from there. Well, I wasn't good yet. You know, you tell somebody, he knew I was new because he saw me struggling. So I put the trailer like this far away from the other trailer, and he came back and told me to move it over. And I was like, okay. So I pull back out and I tried to move it over a little closer, and it was a little closer, but it was nowhere. He wanted like no space between the trailers, and that's really easy for a yard dog to do, and it's a lot easier for somebody who's been out here for years and years. So I put it over as close as I could that I felt comfortable with. I dropped the trailer and I go inside to go get my bills. And he waited for me outside the customer office, and then comes up to me and says, you know, I'm sick and tired of you drivers just dropping trailers wherever the hell you want. He's like, you know, I asked you to move that over, and you moved it over a little bit. It wasn't enough. And I was like, well, what do you want from me? Mission accomplished. You came over here to humiliate me, knowing that I couldn't move it over anymore and that I was scared. Don't tell me that you couldn't tell by the way I was moving the trailer and being so slow that I was new. Of course you know. And how long have you been driving? Well, I was out on the road for 20 years. Okay, so you have 20 years experience, so you moving that trailer over is no big deal. But me moving it over is a big deal. And you know that. Don't tell me you don't know that. And he's like, well, I don't have time to be moving your stuff. I don't get paid to go moving all your stuff around. Okay, dude, you know what? Here's $10. Here's $10 to move that trailer over 6 inches that you want it moved over. All you wanted to do was embarrass and humiliate me. Don't you think that I was already embarrassed and humiliated before you even came over? Don't you realize that I was already defeated and my whole ego was deflated because I really felt like I was getting this backing thing down, and now you come over and just completely obliterate any confidence that I built up by expecting me to do something that's kind of really hard. That's an advanced move to have something that close in a blindside 45-degree angle that you can't pull forward. What do you want? I was like, don't worry, I'm never coming back here again. But I want you to understand, and I hope it makes you feel better to know that I admit I'm absolutely horrible at this. And I admit that you're going to have to fix it. And I admit that you humiliated me. Bravo, mission accomplished. Don't worry, because I'll never be back at this plant. I hope you have a great day, and here's your $10. And I walked away. If you agree with them, what are they going to scream about? You're right. I couldn't do it, you're right. I'm bad at this, you're right. What are they going to do, keep arguing with you? Well, you shouldn't. What do you want me to do? You're right. There were a couple other times where guys were mean, and they sounded mean and nasty, but they backed me up and helped guide me and stuff. And then, like, they'll just keep with their nasty, oh, well, you young kids, you don't know how to back up, and blah, 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 blah. You know what I did to a couple of them? Clean looking ones, not smelly ones. I went up and I put my arms around them and kissed them on the cheek and was like, mwah, mwah, mwah. You're nowhere near the mean old crotchety guy that you're pretending to be. Underneath that rough exterior is a sweet, cuddly teddy bear. So, thank you. And then one time this guy yelled at me, and he was like yelling and blah blah blah, and you know, I took too long to back into the door, and I just that's right. And sometimes I really throw him off because I'll pull the whole like accent thing on. I'll be like, oh my God, you're so right. Absolutely. You are so right. Like, I should never have been doing this. I don't know what the hell I was thinking when I decided to become a truck driver, because like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's totally a man's world out here, and I'm just a stupid woman, a stupid blind woman that I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You are so right. You just changed my whole life. I'm going to drive this truck back to Prime today, and I'm going to get rid of it, and oh my God, thank you. You just finally changed me. You made me see the light. Absolutely. So wherever you go for the rest of your life, you make sure that you understand that, like, I'm totally a different person, and I'm going to think about you for the rest of my life. They just look at me like, okay. And then they walk away. They forget what they were yelling about. So, you know, don't get upset about things that people say or people do. They're just going to have to wait for you to back into that door. They're just going to have to wait for it. And I am putting a backing video up in the next week or so. So I hope that kind of helps people. It gives you a little bit of tips. It's not for a beginner. It's for somebody that's like solo and they're still, you know, not confident, and maybe they're not observing, you know, they're not sure about lining up in doors and things like that. Do me a favor, and in the comments below, type your favorite positive trucking channel. I don't want any drama. I don't want anybody that's just recruiting off their channels trying to make a buck. Some of these channels, that's all they're really doing. They're just trying to get referral bonuses, and they're trying to increase their channel so that they get monetized from YouTube. And you know, that's not what I want. I want people that are talking about how they screwed up. They have gratitude for what trucking is given to them. I want people that are talking about how their life's improved or the great things about their company, because I want to put a spotlight on the positivity, because the negativity is so easy to find. And Maria, if you're still watching, I hope to see you out here trucking along. Bye guys.